We're coming to you live from Washington, D.C. We await, of course, President-elect Trump's arrival at Union Station tonight, where there will be a candlelight dinner. Joining me now, attorney, political analyst Gayle Trotter, and Washington Examiner chief political correspondent Byron. Gayle, good to have you both. And Gayle, let me begin, if I may, with you. Your sense right now, with all of the banality, the just nastiness, and the confirmation hearings on the part of the Democrats, and not necessarily the far-left Democrats, there's just somebody got the talking points out, and they're just going to be nasty as hell. With all of this going on, CNN putting together, hiring Valerie Jarrett's daughter to cover the Justice Department, the fake news of dealing with the issue of the assassination of a president. Your reaction to what is going on in this town?
Right. Well, being a Washington, D.C. native, I think there is, the stages of grief, and the media, the mainstream media, CNN, BuzzFeed, Slate, Salon, all of these places, they're still in the anger phase. They have not accepted, they have not moved on, they have not accepted the results of this election. That's why they're trying to delegitimize it all the time. You
left out the Washington Post, although by extension, one of the publications, Salon, also
yes.
owned by the Post. Byron, you've been here a while. I mean, this is really unworthy conduct, as well as, and I'm going to be as nice as I can and call it unworthy.
Well, there is, let's go to the Senate for a second, and there is every time a kind of a ratcheting up of grievances in the Senate, and so that if you think that, well, they blocked 4 of our guys, we're going to block 8 of theirs, and then the next time it's 16, and now you have basically the Senate Democrats blocking everything of Donald Trump's, and we must remember that the Senate...
But let me interject.
Yeah.
Inversely, the Senate, with Barack Obama approving 7 of his...
7 on Inauguration Day.
Yes, on Inauguration Day. Only 2 will come to pass, we are told reliably, by the head clown, as Donald Trump calls him, Senator Chuck Schumer.
Those were by voice vote, by the way, those 7, which are essentially unanimous, which
sure.
means Republicans did not object. And Democrats have basically objected to everything and now said that we might let General Mattis and General Kelly
Correct.
Through tomorrow.
Homeland Security and
yep.
Department of Defense. But this is a different situation altogether. We are looking at to me, a quite different set of elements and chemistry here. We're watching a party that has destroyed itself over the course of the past 8 years. I mean, this president presided over, I'm not saying he is solely to blame, but he presided over the loss of 1,000 seats nationwide at the state and federal level. This has been decimation. And without New York and California, you have a party that is in real trouble.
Right, it's been a real bloodbath, and as Byron was saying, the Senate can only delay the confirmation of his nominations, so it's really a childish tactic. They are going to eventually confirm these nominees. There was an election, and the people should have the benefit of the full team in the cabinet, and especially it's despicable to think that they're not going to immediately confirm Mattis, Kelly, Pompeo, the national security team, because we need these people in place right away.
And they're attacking the Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, who is an extraordinary public servant, irrespective of the ideological differences between members of the Senate, Democratic members of the Senate, and Sessions. This is just a nasty, unjustifiable attack on him, his character. It goes back to the Clintons and their politics of destruction, and it is now here in full bloom.
Let me say one thing. There are divisions between Democrats on this, because we have 60 to 70 House Democrats who are going to boycott. They're going to follow John Lewis, who has a tradition of boycotting Republican inaugurations.
He did the same with the inauguration of George Bush in 2001.
But the number of Democratic senators who are boycotting this inauguration is 0. And that's different, because what you have is each congressional district represents about, 750,000 people across the country. And you have ones from the bluest of the bluest of the blue, the most radical groups, the people who are the farthest out on the left wing of the Democratic caucus are doing this, but people who are in the Senate, who represent whole states, who have perhaps higher ambitions, they're not doing it.
All right. Even though I don't see great generosity of spirit on the part of the Senate,
no.
I think that may be as much a function of the confirmation process. And really, when I watch Ron Wyden, for example, Chuck Schumer and Al Franken, they're insecure, as you put it, the bluest of the blue, and are perfectly comfortable being as left-wing as possible because that matches up with their constituency. In 2018, there will be nine of those folks who could be in serious trouble, who are as quiet as church mice right now. And we could see a historic shift in the Senate if you can ever, which we often can't, but ever do a straight line extrapolation from the president to the election day.
Right, the numbers are really in the Republicans' favor for the midterm elections. So I don't think you're going to see what you saw during Barack Obama's presidential years, where the House flipped, the Senate flipped, and there was a reaction against Obama's policies, because the numbers really favor Republicans. And I think President Trump is going to be committed to delivering on his promises. And also, I think he is making efforts to work with the other side, unlike President Obama with Obamacare.
No, we touched on this. As we were sitting here preparing for the inauguration of our 45th president, he was one of those told by all of the savants and the political gurus that you can't bring bombast, you can't be an alpha male, you cannot speak directly, honestly, forthrightly about complex issues and manage to compete with the oh-so-sensitive constituencies of the left. And here is Donald Trump speaking directly, powerfully to most Americans, and doing so with plans that weren't even imagined possible by Republicans, 16 others I can name straight away.
I think one of the reasons we're seeing such anger on the left, and this is just outside of Capitol Hill, but on the general left as well, is because there was this belief that demographic change meant that Democrats were not only the president now, they were going to be president from now on.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And there was a huge debate among Republicans, as you know, trying to figure out how to deal with this giant blue wall. And if you had told a Republican you were going to have a candidate who was going to win all of the Romney states and then he's going to win Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin, they would not have believed you.